Hello everyone and welcome back to round 10 of our F124 driver career mode with Enzo Fittipaldi. This week we're going to be in Spain, and we did get two major upgrades from our engine department from our actual supplier, not something we applied, and now we have the best engine out of the entire field. As for the actual development of the car, we're now equal with VCarb, and we're breaking away from the best of the rest. We're still nowhere near catching those top 5 teams, but we're getting there. We just need to keep applying the upgrades. Our engine supplier bringing upgrades definitely helped. And yeah, now we're going to go ahead and apply our 579 resource points, which we're also going to add to our ERS cooling. That will be on right before Silverstone. And yeah, I think that will conclude everything. We do need to actually jump into our specialist goals. We'll go ahead with that one because I don't think we'll get the fastest lap. Qualify 13th or better, or reach a speed of 203 miles per hour. We're going to go with qualify 13th or better. I think that is definitely possible. We don't use flashbacks, so that's an easy goal. And complete one practice program. Alright, now let's sim to the Spanish Grand Prix. Our secondary wing flaps passed. We grabbed our weekly resources.
Okay, all the new parts have been fabricated, and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Now we're going to head on into practice for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona. It's a circuit very well known to the teams and drivers, but still remains a very important practice session on the way next.
Here we are for our race strategy practice program. Like usual, we're not going to use any DRS or overtake to get an accurate representation of our pace for the race weekend. The pace does not feel great here this race weekend, especially through the first sector. This last sector here, we seem to be gaining a lot of time on the Delta. So I'm guessing we'll be quick through the second half of the lap, but that first half is going to be a struggle, that's for sure. As we're rounding these last few corners here, up on the Delta, through the final corner, 4/10 up on the Delta, and that is our second purple score of the weekend. And now we're going to head on into qualifying. Little update on the weather here. 89% chance of rain through the entire race. So another weekend, we're going to have to make sure we have a wet setup on the car. But unlike last weekend, qualifying is going to be dry, so we may have to sacrifice some qualifying pace to make sure we're fast in the race.
It's a Catalonian qualifying for you today. Welcome along to Spain, to Barcelona, and wherever you are in the world. Do you feel the need? The need for speed?
Here we are for our first lap of qualifying here in Spain. Like I said, we do have a wet setup on the car, so going to be interested to see how much pace we have. The laps felt pretty decent as, oh, I turned in too soon there. Not the ending we wanted. Let's see what it's going to be across the line. A 1:14.2. Faster than Magnussen and Albon, but slower than Sonoda and Sargent. Definitely not what we needed. Well, we have 4/10 to our teammate and Pierre Gasly. And we need at least half a second if we're going to want to make it into Q2. Slowly starting to eke some time out of the lap here. Just barely up on the Delta though. We're going to need to find a lot more time if we want any chance of making it into the next part of qualifying. As we did manage to find 0.2 of a second and put ourselves in P14, but I think we're going to have to use our third set of new tires and go for one more run if we want any chance of making it through to Q2. It all comes down to this right here. We need to have a good lap if we want to make it into Q2. We're P15 currently, and we need to pick up a few tenths. And we invalidate. Oh my gosh, not what we needed here in Spain. As Fernando Alonso goes fastest and we drop down to P16. Well, there you have it. We're out in Q1 as our teammate of Pierre Gasly out-qualifies us for the first time in a while. We're going to be starting P18 on the grid, and we are going to have a lot of work to do in the pouring down rain.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Stroll, Sainz, Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, Fittipaldi, Albon, Hülkenberg, and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
It's a very special time for the drivers. It's almost like everything around you slows down and you become hyper-aware. So your nerves slightly go up, your adrenaline's going up. It's the perfect time to start focusing on your visualizations and preparing for the race. So you want to avoid distractions and really stay cool, calm, and focused.
Well, here we are on the grid in Barcelona, Spain. Max Verstappen takes pole position here. Carlos Sainz, his championship rival, all the way down in 10th position at his home Grand Prix. I can 100% guarantee you that is not what he wanted, as they are suggesting we start on the dry tires. That's a little bit weird. I don't see a lot of standing water, though, so I guess it may not be interweather just yet, as... do we start on the mediums or the hards? Ooh. I think we're going to go with the medium compound. I think it'll be pretty rough starting on the hard tire while it's also raining. So we'll go mediums to hards, and then maybe it'll start raining hard enough where we'll throw on a set of inters and we won't even have to use the hard compound tire. So, yeah, I think that'll conclude the strategy. Let's hop on into the formation lap.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus.
Well, every driver elected to start on the dry compound, and we're the only on the mediums.
So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which ones have got it horribly wrong?
I do think the mediums will allow us to have a bit more grip than them here at the start. But if the race ends up drying up, and we do have to go to the hard tires, we'll be at a massive disadvantage later when everyone else gets to throw on a set of mediums. As Yuki Tsunoda fills the last grid spot, he definitely is going to look to have a comeback drive here. As so will we, starting from P17 on the grid under those 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. As Valtteri Bottas steps out of line there, we get a massive run on everyone, as we just have so much more grip on the medium compound tire. I braked a bit early there. I didn't know how early everyone was going to brake. So we send it up the inside here of Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to look to try to stay on the inside of us, but I think we're going to have enough to make it stick. So I'm going to use some battery. Brake late. Ooh, dive to the inside of Zhou Guan Yu there. It's lights out and away we go as we have another look at the race start here as Max Verstappen feels out the grip perfectly and gets an amazing launch off the line into turn 1 and is clear of Lando Norris by 3 or 4 car lengths as both the McLarens look to round out the podium positions as we made that move stick quite a bit easier. Well, apparently race control thinks it's still dry enough weather. I am
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters.
Nope, team's still not sure whether inters are quicker or not. I mean, I still do have a considerable amount of grip here on the mediums. And we are hanging with Kevin Magnussen, as I'm slightly struggling to hang with him, to be completely honest. As Daniel Ricciardo's going to look to stick it around our outside here. So I will hold him off there. Lowering the diff there definitely helped out. I feel like I have a lot more grip on exit and on throttle. So we're maintaining here with Kevin Magnussen, 4 positions gained so far in the race. Depending on how the strategy plays out too, there could be a lot to be in play later. But you never know. I'm on the better compound and I'm still just barely able to stay with them here. But we do get a massive run with the DRS using our overtake. Magnussen brakes super late, but we're going to go around the outside there. And we make it stick up to P12. Oh, as we get a massive snap oversteer. Now we need to look to run down our teammate of Pierre Gasly. As Magnussen's going to try to go to our inside here. Oh, another snap. Oh, he's going to go around the outside. We'll send it up the inside, leave him room, but we make it stick. We're able to hold him off. He will get the DRS here, though, so this will be interesting. Oh, we just gapped him right there. As last I looked, him and Ricciardo were side by side. That may have slowed them up massively.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Daniel Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen are battling behind us. They just flip-flopped a couple of times. Well, we've been on the crossover for about 5 laps now, so it looks like Mark just isn't sure which tire is
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.3 seconds.
If it stays like this, I think I'm going to throw on inters. Whenever we pit instead of hards. It may just be one of those awkward races where it just lightly rains all race, and we have no idea what tire to be on. Kevin Magnussen's going to use the DRS here to make a move on us. We're not really going to challenge, as he's going to have an insane run with the DRS. Now I'll just look to stay with him, honestly. But Magnussen has just found insane pace out of nowhere. Just managed to get his DRS there.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters.
Mark still isn't sure, but Oscar Piastri just set the quickest lap of the race. So I'm assuming we're getting more grip on the track. And it's drying a little bit. But it still looks like it's raining quite heavily, so We're struggling too much on boxing.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
We're throwing on inners.
Okay, Enzo. Ricardo ahead. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push, push.
We're bringing it in this time. Throwing on a set of inners.
Okay, we have a problem with ERS. We have a problem with the ERS. Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
So apparently we're having a problem with the ERS system as well, which is going to slow us down massively on the straights. That's not good. Oh my. And we have an issue. So that's 2 seconds gone. Amazing. And now somehow we have a ERS.
There seems to have been a problem attaching the left rear wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though, and let's finish this race strong. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
We need to put in some good laps here on the intermediates and try to undercut them. The question is do they go to intermediates as well, or are they sticking with dries?
Pierre is in the pits.
Oh, Pierre's pitting. There's no way I have a chance to undercut Pierre then if he's already in the pits. The question is are the AIs going to inters or mediums?
Okay, Albon's in the pits.
They're all going to mediums.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters.
So all we can do is hope the rain picks up. Will this strategy work out for us? We need to beat out Hulkenberg into turn 1 here, because we're just stuck behind Joe Grenier. Oh, we're spinning there. Our tire wear is atrocious too. Hulkenberg challenges me into turn 1 there. Yes, he got a massive run, even though I was using the DRS. As I still am not quite sure my ERS system's online. They haven't said it came back online, and it's looking like potentially I should have thrown on a set of dries. I don't think it's going to get wet enough for interweather. It's insane to me the AI are able to have so much grip here in the mediums. Not make a single mistake, no lockups. Like they're all on dry tires in the rain and we haven't seen one safety car. No incidents. The tire row, so that
okay,
is Lance
gap
Stroll.
ahead, 2.4 seconds.
Lance Stroll's out of the session as we are just getting massively past in the straights. Oh, as Hulkenberg dives to our outside. We're able to hold him off.
Okay, be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Oh man, how is Albon so quick? I have to still be down on power or something. There's no way Albon's gapping me that much on mediums. Just on the straights like that.
Gap to your teammate ahead, 0.3 seconds.
Oh my gosh, what a run by Valtteri Bottas, as we're going to look to send it up his inside. Squeezed him really tight right there, but he backed out, so... I mean, look at how much grip they have. As we definitely chose wrong by going with the inters. Unfortunate. It could have worked out though. If it rained a little bit more, we were the only one on inters, this whole race could have went differently. Unfortunately though,
battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
It stayed just dry enough where the inters were decent, but they're just overheating. So I can never keep them in the right temperature window for the grip, and the wear is just insane. Honestly, I don't know if I will make it the rest of the race. I may have to peel in. Go defensive on the inside, but it doesn't matter. Because they all have DRSs. We just get passed by 3 cars. We're going to hold the inside there. Oh, as DRS is now disabled.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
Here's another look as we have absolutely zero chance on the straightaway as all 3 drivers open up their rear wings. Luckily, though, we go defensive on the Williams of Logan Sargent and are able to at least hold off 1 driver there. As we have no grip, though, as our tires are absolutely cooked. We send it to the inside.
Okay, Enzo, we're seeing a lot of tyre wear in the data. Please focus on looking after your tyres.
If it starts to pour down these last few laps, we may be able to start fighting back if our tires will last that long.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
And now I can really attack because we're not worried about that penalty anymore. As we may get our first puncture here. I'm going to risk it and try to go the rest of the race because there's no point to try to pit at this stage. We're just going to end up 19th. Either way, we're going to be 19th, so I should try to pit, honestly, but maybe we can make something happen here. And it'll just be more entertaining if we go ahead and try to finish it out and catch Valtteri Bottas. Definitely not how I envisioned our Spanish Grand Prix to go. I really do love Spain. This track's a ton of fun to drive. It's just... yeah, we completely got the strategy wrong this weekend. The intermediates were not the way to go. Honestly, the undercut maybe would have worked out if we would have put on the hards. Who knows? I still
you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
As we're now in 19th place, even passed by Logan Sargent. Only person we're ahead of is Lance Stroll. Oh man. Definitely our worst weekend so far this year. You could argue Miami was worse. But no, I would have to say this weekend was worse for sure. Miami was a bad weekend too. At least we didn't wreck out this weekend. That's the one thing I can say. We didn't cost the team a car. Oh, as we just hit the grass, it caused so much oversteer. I have no more grip anymore as these tires are just shredded. 2 laps to go here. I don't know if our tires are going to be able to make it the rest of the way. I'm actually quite interested to see if it's possible for it to make it. Yeah, our strategy call was definitely questionable this weekend. Not sure we had the pace to really do anything in the rain anyway. We weren't really challenging for points. Our car never quite never just had the grip. Gasly was struggling to be in the top 10 too, as yeah, just not.
Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to.
Just not Alpine's weekend. Didn't really have the pace in the mixed conditions. After in Canada, we were just absolutely rapid in full wet conditions. But in the mixed conditions, especially with dries on a wet track, we were struggling majorly. As the AI just seems to be able to find all the grip, get on the throttle just the right amount, and make no real mistakes. As there wasn't a single DNF or incident here throughout the entire Grand Prix. Even though all of the AI did the entire race in raining conditions on slick tires. And there
Okay,
wasn't a
this is your
single
final
incident.
lap. Final lap of the race.
As it's one more time around here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Can the tires make it? 86% wear. Ooh, just snap loose right there. Oh, snap again right there. As Max Verstappen wins here in Spain. Definitely building the gap on Carlos Sainz. I'll be interested to see where Carlos ended up. As Max started on pole and converted it to a victory. As this was also the track he got his first win at. So I'm sure he likes to add another tally to his win total here in Spain. 90% wear, just a few more corners here. I think the tire is gonna be able to hang on. As it doesn't really matter anyway. Oh, we're all the way back in P19. 11 seconds back on the closest guy with a 3-second penalty. As our Spanish Grand Prix went about as
pick up
horribly
rubber and bring it home.
as it could have. Lewis Hamilton gets driver of the day.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
Wow, that's 3 wins in a row. This clearly solidifies them as a season contender. It's very tough to achieve 3 in a row, so very well done.
3 in a row by the Dutchman as he looks to claim his 4th championship in a row.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
McLaren showing really good pace this weekend. They're going to look to keep that form going as Lando Norris was challenging a lot early in the season, but he has fallen off quite a bit.
After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Well, there you have it. Terrible, terrible weekend for us, but Pierre Gasly did manage to sneak in 1 point for Alpine. So, yeah, that's huge. The car did have decent pace, it shows. We just weren't able to maximize it. And the strategy definitely didn't help. We were in a decent spot before we pitted for the Inters. Our pace wasn't great, though, so I don't think we would have been able to challenge for points either way. But the strategy call definitely ruined our race completely. As Max Verstappen's gap on Carlos Sainz in the championship after Carlos got 6 is now up to 37 points. Definitely still doable by the Spaniard, but he's going to need stronger weekends than what he had this weekend. As Max Verstappen has 3 race wins in a row. And yeah, Carlos is going to have to put an end to that if he wants any chance at claiming his first world title. George Russell did manage 9th, so he gained 2 points on us, but still a manageable 10-point gap. As the Constructors is still very, very close. Red Bull gained about 6 points, or no, I think actually Red Bull was behind by 5 points going into this race, if I remember correctly. So they gained quite a bit. I think 16 points on Ferrari, as Ferrari is now P2. And Aston Martin gained a considerable amount of points on us, which is exactly what we didn't want to see, and we're going to have to look to correct that in the coming weeks. Thank you to everyone who watched the video. Please like and subscribe, and you guys have a great day.